Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Anshu Sharma here. Holographic inserts. In my previous video, Understanding Simulation Reality Process, Universal and Personal Holograms, we understood universal and personal light body holograms are made up of photon light particles. Infinite in number, they are naturally existing in nature as compared to the technologically created holograms. Similar to Russian dolls, which exist one inside the other, existing within a larger hologram, smaller holograms are replica of the whole. The only difference is the limited consciousness, expressing a fractal of the whole in case of smaller holograms. Like a child in a mother's womb, naturally occurring holograms are alive. They are alive and are in constant communication with each other through attuning of frequencies in a multi-dimensional model. Before I go, I take a disclaimer. All that what I say on my channel is a result of my own research and the help and guidance of my guidance system and my own reflection. Nothing is to be taken as an absolute truth because we all are learning, and at the same time you have the right to accept the information I present or you can reject it. In this talk, we take our discussion a bit further on holograms, what hologram inserts actually are. These hologram inserts are both positive and negative, and they work in their own ways and they influence our reality. Food, shelter, survival and clothing are our basic pre-matter instincts. Our base chakra DNA codes carry information about our basic survival. It is quite easy for negative faction to alter or create a program or an electrical imprint to impulse and activate these codes electrically. Such programs have the potential to create holographic inserts in your DNA, of course with your permission, depending upon whether you put your repeated attention. Sometimes these holographic inserts are put in your DNA with your permission and sometimes without your permission. As the base DNA code is electrically altered, the entire physiology of the masses on the chemical and hormonal level is altered. Through the intrinsic mechanism of body, matter, brain and senses, a literal hologram is manufactured. This hologram, which we explained in the last video, projects and outside objective reality as 3D matter and images are constructed and presented. How outside projected reality becomes our personal subjective reality, we will discuss this a bit later. So first let me take an example. Masses are watching and absorbing outside created holograms on a daily basis. Images such as 9/11, war scenarios, food shortages, pandemic, violent outbursts, etc., are being telecast, triggering our basic fears of survival for food, shelter, and clothing. Absorbing such images, we are unconsciously creating such scarcity and fearful holograms. What happens when we continually watch such scenarios? Unable to act, our body vibrations are taken to a low frequency of pre-matter state, where you simply observe trauma in sheer helplessness because you can't do anything. While your mind is racing in high vibration, creating the future scenarios of scarcity and fear, where your very physical survival is at stake. You start worrying whether you or your loved ones will live or die among the wars between various countries, in the presence of civil wars, pandemic, or food shortages. Do you realize what you are doing? You are yourself creating these horrible scenarios and situations for yourself with your mental body. Through repeated watching and thinking, you are empowering such scenarios as your future outcome. Your body matter, your brain, and your senses together at the same time are creating holograms which have the potential to create physical reality. Such scenarios can be created physically in your reality for you to see or for you to live and experience. It is sad to say, but you are helping the negative faction because you have the power to create which they have lost. So you are creating your own self-sabotage programs which they have introduced, but you are helping them, indirectly creating them. As your neurological structure processes such program imprints or DNA altered codes, because both happen at the same time, the program imprints are presented, and when we continually give our attention and our energy to such imprints, then we are also altering our DNA. When this process is done, you perceive them outside of yourself in your physical surroundings as three-dimensional matter. The images and events, or in other words, the reality pictures that you have participated in programming into your DNA, will be projected outside for you to experience. Not to scare you, but let us go a bit further. Some of these codes can be contrived to become permanent additions to your original DNA base code, which means an individual's subjective experience of trauma and fear based realities repeatedly can become a part of his or her DNA makeup. These energies, unless consciously aware and changed, they have the potential to create and recreate such scenarios because these energies they go into a looping pattern. Masses are already being subjected to such holographic inserts and events are already set in motion. More now, though they have always been used throughout our history to alter and bend the results of the nature of our historical developments. For more enlightened comprehension, let us go a bit further. When mind races, imagining fearful, traumatic situations, solutions connected to the dark agenda are provided, such as taking in particular medicines, drugs, injections, or even undergoing major operations. The fearful masses, unable to think and decide for themselves, rushes in and implements those solutions in their reality. Our government has long allowed such experimentation to take place, not realizing, along with masses, the governments themselves succumb to the very tactics employed by dark forces. Without thinking of some solutions, this talk will not be enlightening. First and foremost, by not exposing yourself to the media, you can protect yourself and your loved ones. Secondly, do not get into fearful reactionary mode. Sometimes subconscious fearful programs already embedded in our consciousness emerge. Then paying attention and compassionate observance is the key in calming those fears. Get in full control of your faculties and autonomous nervous system. Try to see through negative thought forms and mental triggers. Pay attention to your inner anxiety and tension. Control your impulsive thoughts before they take you into action. Then always gauge comfortable and trustful surroundings before you blurt out negative words and negative behaviors. For the purpose of positive release. Sometimes you have to do that in order to take advice, but take advice from your tried and tested trustworthy sources and always think a lot and see the solutions from all the angles. Then formulate your strategies you wish to put out in action. Be a compassionate observer to all negativity without jumping in and involving yourself. First and foremost, see your benefit and then see the benefit of all humanity. What is good for all is generally good for you as well. This process, by this process, we have just learnt the permanent alteration and addition of DNA base code can be used for negative purpose. And it is being used for negative purpose. But it can also be used for positive purposes in assisting humanity in reaching great levels of spiritual enlightenment. So first we understand the spiritual concepts and then we share those concepts with others. Once we become conscious that how these holographic inserts are being implanted in our subconscious mind and how they play out in our physical realities, we can stop them in tracks because now we are aware. So we can use them positively for our own benefit, for our own spiritual enlightenment, to promote our physical health and beauty and mental and emotional expansion. So that is the positive side of using these holographic inserts. It happens naturally when we curtail our fearful reactions and rest in knowing that there is a higher authority who is always at our side, taking care of us and always guiding us. Then, like little children, we can sleep peacefully in the lap of Almighty, in complete trust and faith. So that's all for today. If you like this video and think it will benefit others, then please share. Please subscribe and share. And at the same time, I take this opportunity to thank all those who have stayed with me and who have supported my work and my channel. Anshu Sharma 90 over the years. Because your support is there, I am being encouraged to make such videos. We are a small family. We are connected through etheric bonds of love, wisdom, respect and loyalty. In the confluence age where we are closing the chapter of Kali Yuga, the dark ages, and beginning to start the golden ages, this time becomes very important because what we give out, we will receive tenfold. So I take your leave now. All the best. Take care. Bye for now.